Whatever shit, Timmy's here. Since Thursday would be the birthday of late comic legend Robert Williams, from now until Thursday, I'm actually gonna be doing my reviews for not one but about 10 Robert Williams movies. Cause I remember when he died, man. I was really sad about his passing. I've always admired Robin. I loved his work and everything. So I decided to do this week to pretty much honor the late great comedy legend with about reviewing 10 of his iconic films, starting with the movie that really put him on the map, and that is of course 1980's Popeye. I know this movie did not get great reviews. It got like a 57%. It has a 39%. It's not really a movie lots of people really like. I don't care what anyone says. I love the 1980s Popeye. Of course, it is based on the iconic cartoon series from the 50s, 60s, and all. And I mean, Popeye has been around for literally decades. Of course, there was like radio articles, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, so of course when they announced Popeye, granted I was not born around time when they announced it, but of course when Popeye got released, it was really a big thing because Popeye has still been around at the time too, but it was more popular back then. So of course Robin Williams, I believe he did of course after this he will later go on to do stuff like I believe he actually did do Happy Days. I believe around the same time too, if I'm not mistaken. But of course he will later go on to do stuff like Rick and Morty, Mork and Mindy. But of course this was actually his first feature and really his first rise to stardom. If you look at it. Now, of course, here you got Robert Williams, who plays the Sailor Popeye, who is pretty much looking for the father played by Ray Wellston, who deserted him as a baby. And he journeys to the port town of Sweet Haven and he befriends with some interesting assortment of eccentric characters. He also Shining in the same year. So interesting turnaround right there. Of course, you also got this bully Bluto, played by Paul Smith, and Popeye, of course, discovers like a abandoned baby named Sweet Pea, whom he also raises as his own. But when he also spurned Bluto, kidnaps Olive Oil because, of course, Bluto loves doing that. And Popeye takes action here. I mean, the movie also is a bit of a music as well. There is some music elements. Anyway, Popeye is such a fun film. Of course, you got Paul Dooley playing Wimpy. You got, of course, the opening with Popeye music opener John Mercer, who does the voice of Popeye in the opening, is such an iconic voice there. I mean, Popeye is just such a fun one. It's more of a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, it's not a great film, but it is a really fun one. I've always enjoyed. I remember watching this thing on TV one time. I had a fun time with it. And Robin, he really embodied Popeye perfectly. I would love to see another Popeye in the future. I mean, I remember Sony was supposed to be doing a Popeye film, but for some reason they went ahead and did the Emoji Movie instead. But yeah, I mean, after seeing that trailer thing, I really want to see Popeye on the screen. I mean, such an iconic character. And I mean, Popeye, like I say, he's been around for, I believe, over, over 50 years. And Popeye is so iconic. And even at the time, he was even popular too. So, yeah. And of course, this movie was directed by Robert Altman, who later gone on to do other stuff like Shortcuts. I mean, he was a really cool, iconic director. He of course did Beyond Therapy, but of course, this was one of his. This is actually the movie that really did not like. Lots of people probably consider this should be his worst film, but hey, it is what it is. But it's still a really decent film. I mean, Robert Oman. Oh come on, he did Secret Honors. He's done some other really cool movies over the years. But hey, I really quite like this one. He did, and it's a shame they've never done a sequel. But the movie was not all that financial. Let me see, how much this thing made? It made about 60 million, so it did not do all that great when it got released. So yeah, there's that. But let me let you guys. Have you ever seen 1980s Popeye? If so, what show? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan of it? Favorite scenes, favorite moments? where you ever a fan of Popeye in general, whether it's the Robin Williams film, the classic cartoon, etc. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simple Sign Out.